Hello again. So this video, I'm going to talk about parenting styles, right? They talk about a lot of things that influence development in childhood and adolescence. So there are many different things. Temperament, the temperament of the child, her or himself, right, can be an important factor early on in attachment. So it can be, the temperament of the child, inborn temperament of the child can be, that can influence attachment style. So there are many different things. One thing that you look at is, of course, parenting style. But one big caveat here with parenting style. You can, you might be able to characterize, and they do, identify it and talk about 3 different parenting styles. But the caveat or the warning here is that, does a parent really, or would an individual really use just one parenting style in every interaction with a particular child? That seems, so that's a question, right? An issue with this. A concern to keep in mind, right? So anyway, but they do talk about 3 parenting styles, and these parenting styles differ. Sorry about that. These parenting styles differ in terms of the control that the parent has, and also you can talk about the demands they place on the child versus the responsiveness to the child as well, and that's related to the control, right, that the parent has. So there are 3 different styles. There's the authoritarian parenting style, right? Authoritarian parenting style. Many of us might have experienced that, at least for a while. My parents were sometimes like that, but they were really also, later on as I got older, they were more authoritative, I think. So it can change over time too. But authoritarian parents obviously place a lot of demands on their kids. And so they're in control, right? They are in control. The child is expected to do this and behave this way. And we're not going to talk about it. This is what you're going to do, right? So this is, tend to have, and they're placing a lot of demands on the child, have a lot of expectations for the child. They want to control the situation. Well, I don't know if that's the right way to put it, but, control the child. And they're not really responsive to the child's input. Right? No, these are the expectations. This is what you're going to do. We're not going to talk about it. This is what you're going to do. Right? So that's the authoritarian parent. And they do say, in there, the authoritarian parents tend to have children with less social skills and perhaps lower self-esteem. Right? So fewer social skills and less self-esteem. Well, I guess they don't have a chance to practice those social skills with their parents because their parents are not responsive to input from the child, and I suppose maybe if you're not in charge of what's going on, or you have no say in what's going on, you can see you're a little helpless. Maybe that adds to lower self-esteem, perhaps you could argue. So that's kind of the authoritarian parent. Then you have the permissive parent, which is kind of way the opposite, right? The permissive parent have very little control over the child, place very few demands on the child. You just let them do what they want. And no expectations for them to get any particular grade in school. I mean, they get what they get. That's okay. Authoritarian parent might, on the other hand, say you're going to get B's or better, right? And have do this. I don't know if that's the way they talk, but no, it's not. But anyway, so the permissive parent, right? Just let them do what they want. Don't put any demands on them. Very responsive to the child, but don't place any demands. And so they talk about these parents, permissive parents, tending to have children who can be more aggressive and more immature. Well, if you don't ever correct them or expect them to behave in a more mature, responsible way, and they might be more immature, you might argue, and more aggressive. Yeah, I mean, no one ever stops them from doing what they want. So okay, I can see that too. So supposedly the best parenting style is authoritative parenting style, right? Authoritative. Not authoritarian, no, authoritative parenting style. Pardon me. So yeah, the authoritative parenting style is, they have some control, and they place some demands on the child. They have some expectations and demands that they want the child to strive for and achieve. But at the same time, they're responsive to input from the child, right? So maybe they start off wanting their kid to have, straight A's, but maybe the kid's just not, big in academia, so so they can sit down and talk to the kid and say, well, okay, we want you to get as good grades as you can in the class. We'll adjust that. You don't have to have all A's, but let's see if we can do B's and maybe some C's every now and then, right? So so they have expectations. They put some corrections on the child, but they're not absolute controlling as the authoritarian parent would be, right? They're more responsive to input from the child and willing to adjust, perhaps, their expectations. So that's kind of the gist of these 3 parenting styles, all right? So good luck.